You're listening to Season 7 of the award-winning Homemade Matters podcast, brought to you from the West Midlands in the UK.
We're just a regular family of 5 on a home education journey, and we want to share our journey with you and encourage you on yours. So thanks for joining us, and here's this week's episode.
Well, hi everybody.
Hello!
Welcome to
Homemade Matters,
Season
7,
episode
19. I thought it
19.
was 18.
I know when we were doing our exhaustive planning beforehand.
Yep.
Well, I say exhaustive.
What does exhaustive mean?
Like in great depth. Did we do planning in great depth?
No.
Yeah, it was about 5 minutes.
It's not word for word.
My name's Luke.
And my name's Eden.
And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. You may be able to hear some chickens crowing in the background.
Just giving the house a bit of an airing.
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
It's nice.
Asher and Mirabella are really busy tidying the playroom.
Yep.
Which is a good activity. We just had to push the door to because the noise of Duplo being put back in a big box.
And the singing of raindrops on roses.
Yeah,
and
they're living the
whiskers
dream.
on kittens.
They're living the dream. We do love Sound of Music.
We do. I've been choosing it every single turn since we watched it. For my turn.
So this is so in our family we have on Fridays we have
DVD Friday,
which is at 4:00 on Fridays.
We get to choose a film.
You get to choose a film,
And we take it in turns.
Yeah. So every 3 weeks
It's my turn.
you've been choosing that.
Yeah.
What's Belle been choosing a lot recently?
7 Brides, 7 Brothers.
We've been
So
watching
now
these
we
other
just
classic
need to-
films. Yeah.
So now we just need to find something fresher to watch on repeat.
Well, we've got our next family sleepover, end of month family sleepover film night coming up. So I think we might watch Singing in the Rain.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mummy said we might watch Little Women
Oh, we could do.
as well.
Well,
who knows?
that's a good start, isn't it? Because
It really leads us nicely.
it leads us nicely into... We follow a lot of free reads, and you follow a lot of free reads. But actually, you had an amazing Christmas present. That is the gift that keeps on giving.
It's not a Christmas present.
You had an amazing birthday present. I keep getting this confused, because your birthday and Christmas are only a few weeks apart.
Oh, more than a few weeks, Daddy. 25 days.
Exactly. Well, anyway, your birthday present that keeps on giving is...
It's a, book poster, which I can scratch off. It's a book bucket list, basically. And when you've read the books, you can scratch it off, and it reveals, a little picture to do with the books.
It's supposed to be like the 100 best classic children's books.
Well, they're not classics, though. All of them. Not all of them. It's, just best children's books.
So you're doing quite well. And even though you could have just scratched loads off to start with,
yeah,
you've been rereading everything, haven't you?
I have, yes.
So
it was really fun.
Which ones have you scratched off recently from the books you've reread?
Little Women, Stig of the Dump. I read each Peach Pear Plum really quickly.
Yeah, that doesn't take very long, does it?
Literally 4 sentences or something.
It is a classic.
Yeah.
Well, that's been really fun. Yeah, and you really like the Little Women series. That's one of the series.
Yeah.
Series is? That's one of the series that you really like.
Yeah, so now I'm on Little Men.
Yeah.
Because it goes Little Women, Good Wives, Little Men, Joe's Boys. Even though that's not the order they were published.
Interesting. But that's the story order.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like Star Wars, isn't it? Like the middle 3 films were the first ones that came out, but they weren't the start of the story.
They weren't the start of the story.
So that's been really good.
It has indeed.
You always do a lot of reading, and it's nice to have a satisfying thing on your wall to scratch off.
I probably read in the week, maybe 3 different books a day. Probably more.
Yeah, we do create a lot of space for reading.
Yeah.
Whether that's your free reads or just reading for leisure.
Yeah.
I often think you're living the dream, really. Like when I come to see you at lunchtime, when I'm having a break from work and you're in quiet time in your room, just,
snuggled up in bed reading.
Yeah, with our cat Flo.
Yeah, which if you listened to every single one of our podcast episodes, you will know that she often comes on and snuggles in my bed.
But it's not all indoors. We do
not
lots
all
of stuff
indoors.
outdoors. In fact, because of the easing of restrictions,
We have been going.
you've been going out.
Yeah,
You actually met up with some friends.
we did. Yeah, we went up to a hill and we played Harry Potter.
So we met up with another Homemade family recently. It's our first meet up for many, many months.
Yep.
So what was the best bit about that?
Probably seeing my friend again because, Asher and Mirabelle, they have friends there who are almost the same age, and so do I. But I've just been talking to her over Zoom, and so, well, not Zoom, FaceTime and stuff, but yeah, it was really nice to see her face to face after many, many Zoom calls.
Yeah, I think everyone's getting a bit of video call fatigue.
Yep. Well, Dad, it's because I was listening to an interesting podcast about this.
Oh, tell us.
So basically, when you're on Zoom and you often feel like tireder than you usually would be, it's because everyone's in like gallery view and everyone's just there. It feels like everyone's very close to you, which can make you feel tired, and also because you've got your camera and you can see yourself like all the time, that also makes you feel more tired, because studies show it makes me feel very genius like, but studies show that if you like look into a mirror for too long, it makes you feel tired.
Oh, wow.
So that is why.
What are the favourite podcasts you're listening to at the moment?
Oh, I have so many. Activity Quest, Brains On, no, not Brains On as much so. Circle Round, Girl Tales, The Big Fib. What was the other one? Story Quest, The Week Junior Show.
Science
Fun
Weekly?
Kids Science Weekly. Yeah, I'm listening to a lot.
Yeah, that's really good. It's
Loads
often,
and loads.
again, often when you're in quiet time in your room. So that's part of
Yeah.
our regular routine.
Yeah, well, I have a
Over
quiet
the-
time routine now.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your quiet time routine?
Read my 1 year, 1 year, do 20 minutes of tidying, do 10 minutes of letter writing or extended tidying, 20 minutes of typing, the rest of quiet time free play.
Yeah, I'm impressed with your letter writing. That's a good skill.
Thank you, yeah.
To keep up with pen pals.
Yep.
Another way to just preserve relationships. And I think these
Yeah.
days letters are really, you feel much more
Encourage.
encouraged from getting a letter than you do just from getting a text message or
Yeah.
a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So you've had a media project that you and Asha have been doing this week. You conceived and you executed it all together. What is that media project that you two did?
Strickland TV!
And what was the premise? What was the idea behind Strickland TV?
Well, when we were at Chessington World of Adventure last year, even though it doesn't seem like it was last year, we thought that we could do Strickland TV, and we started filming it in the conservatory, but we never actually stitched it together or anything, and we didn't get very far. But then we relived the idea. I thought of it in the bath again, and I thought, oh, let's do it again. But then, again, we didn't do it. But now we have done it because we found the perfect space to do it outside, and we did it.
And what is it? So it's like a news program? What is it?
So basically, it's our TV show, because we have different sections. So me and Asha are presenters, and then Asha does jokes, I do world facts, and then we go back to the home presenting, and then Asha does like a Lego review of a set, and we were going to do book reviews, but we didn't this week. And then I do, what was my other one? Oh yeah, I recite something, so I recited Shakespeare's 27th sonnet.
So you planned it all, and
We
then
did.
you found a spot to video it,
Yeah, in the garden.
and then you got the GoPro out,
Yeah,
and you recorded it in the different sections,
we did.
and then you needed a bit of help.
Yeah, you stitched it all together for us, thank you.
So we used Shotcut, which is free video editing software that I use. So we assembled it all,
Yes.
and you two helped make sure we get it in the right order and stuff. And then what was the funny thing we did at the end?
We put a little bit saying the outtakes, and it was really funny, because there was bits where we were saying, oh, I've forgotten. And there was a really funny bit where Asha said at the end, and this has been eaten. And I'm like, it's not eaten, it's eaten. And it's quite funny.
Well, maybe we'll put it up on our YouTube channel
Oh, yeah.
and see if people like it, if you want to watch it. So
Yeah.
watch out for that.
It's very funny, by the way, especially the outtakes. The mummy said she loved all of it.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Thank you.
So are you going to do another episode, do you think?
Probably.
Yeah?
I think so, yeah. We'll need to, plan it a bit more again.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to do, wasn't it?
It
Just to,
was, yeah.
come up with the idea and then just
Didn't take very long.
use all of your enthusiasm
Yeah.
straight away and just
Do it.
come up with an end project. Yeah?
Yeah. It didn't take very long either.
No. And in fact, you and Asha have been recorded at a different time this week for a competition. What was that for?
For the Poetry by Heart competition. I think that's what it's called.
Is it being run by Twinkle?
I don't know.
Anyway, the Poetry by Heart competition. So what did you have to do for that?
So there's two competitions, really. So one of them is freestyle, where you just do one poem that they haven't chosen for you, because they have a selection of poems.
Okay.
And then I did the classical competition where you they have a selection of poems for you, and you choose one poem from before 1914 and one from after 1914, and you recite them.
Wow. Okay. And you did one about
Wink and blink and nod, and comet.
a comet, yeah, and I was really impressed with those. So
Thank
took a
you.
bit of practice, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And with the comet one, I kept on saying the author's name wrong. So I kept on saying Katie Wakeling
I remember
instead
doing
of Kate
a
Wakeling.
poetry competition when I was about, I don't know, I want to say 8 or 9, but I think
You feel like it was later.
no, I think I might have been a bit younger. Anyway, had to go to like a special theatre in Woking
cool.
and perform it on stage.
Oh, cool.
So obviously did okay.
Did you win?
I don't think. Well, I think everybody got a certificate of some kind.
But did you win?
I don't think. Well, I don't. No, I didn't win like that. But I don't know whether they did have like individual winners. I think maybe they just wanted everyone to take part, or maybe they just wanted me to feel like that. So I felt like a winner.
Yeah.
Right, we'll just take a short breath,
Yeah.
and we'll be back after this.
You're listening to the Home in Matters podcast.
Right then. Now, normally when you come down in the mornings, what is on the kitchen table?
Our work.
Well, dining room table.
Our work, basically.
And what is your normal work?
Maths, a book about writing properly, and some copy work.
But one morning this week, something
On
different
Monday.
was down there. What was the? This was a different type of art project. So what was it?
So we had a little table mat, clay in a bag, and a picture of Michelangelo's David. And Mommy had just put, "Can you make a David like Michelangelo's?"
So, for those who aren't familiar with David, what is Michelangelo's David?
And basically, it's a naked David.
And is it a painting? Is it a piece of music? What is
it?
It's a sculpture. It's a sculpture.
And they did him naked because it shows the artist's skill, because they're easier than clothes.
Okay. So you and Asha and Mirabah had some Play-Doh as well. What was the hardest bit about doing a human body sculpture?
Probably his face and his feet. But it was really hard because we couldn't get him to stand up, so they were just lying down.
And it actually turned out, again, I think there was some, maybe it was Twinkle again, were asking people to share Michelangelo-inspired artwork.
That was Twinkle.
Yeah, so we shared that. So
it
was highly amusing. I thought it was very funny coming down.
Yeah.
Why was it? Why was there so much giggling?
Because we had to make us wheelie.
But like you say, there's a reason why they did that. It showed the artist's skill. That if you're just wearing clothes, it's not as hard.
I just really looked like a squashed ice cream cone, though.
The one on his on his sculpture.
Yeah, it looked like an ice cream cone that had just been dropped.
Well, I mean, it's quite hard when you're not working at scale. You know, you only had a limited amount of clay, didn't you? So
yeah, it was quite funny.
Now, you've also been doing a lot on. Speaking of practical things, one of your hobbies at the moment that you've restarted is
crochet.
And so, what have you been making with crochet?
Well, I made loads of little tea coasters, but then Mummy said I should probably try something a bit harder. So now I'm trying to make a belt.
But your tea coasters that you made, you did a special kind of like rose on them, didn't you? Like a flower thing.
Yeah, for just one. Yeah, that happened by accident because I was going to make a tea coaster and it was using some wool that was all tangled up. And then I realised that the string on my wool had actually been cut. So I only had like a limited amount left. So I just stitched it together into like all together. And then I just stitched it onto the red one.
What do you like the most about doing crochet?
It's really fast and it's very fun. And you can make loads of stuff.
Yeah. And what's the hardest thing about doing crochet?
Probably making the knot at the beginning and then chaining. And then you have to put the hook into your chains to make like the second line.
Okay.
So that's the hardest bit.
Is it?
Yeah, because it takes so long. And then once you've done that bit, you can just whiz by. But that's the longest part.
Oh, right. Yeah. And so when you finished making the belt, what do you think you're going to make next?
I'm not sure, Yeah, I don't know, because I've got a couple of crochet books on my Kindle, but they're really hard to read because I'm not used to reading crochet.
Has it got?
Instructions.
Oh, right. Yeah. Is it like got its own notation?
What's notation?
You know, like music has got its own like type of. If you try to read
Yeah.
music, it's got its own notation to represent what the notes mean. Is it the same
Yeah,
with crochet?
yeah, it is. Yeah, so like there's abbreviations like ch is chain, and you know this
Yeah.
and that is something else, and like half treble crochet and stuff. And it's really hard.
Oh, great.
Yep, but it's very fun.
Well, it's what date is it? It's the 21st when we're recording this, which is the spring. I want to say equinox, but I think it's
I thought
it's
that
the
was
official.
later.
Yeah, it's not the equinox. It's the other bit in between. Anyway, it's the official start of spring.
Yay!
So
You can
the
tell
days
it
are
is,
starting to get longer.
because it's like all the clouds from yesterday have gone and there's blue sky and we can hear the birds tweeting
yeah.
and there's daffodils on the table.
So you've got daffodils and hyacinths. The hyacinths smell amazing, don't they?
Yeah, they actually
We just
do. They're
picked
so
in the garden.
fragrant.
But what's exciting that you went and got, or was it Mummy and Mirabelle when they went to go and see some horses after
Yeah, they
her
wanted to
nursery
see
the
the
other day?
thing from
What
Free
did they
Rein.
also get?
They got some tadpoles
So where are our tadpoles right now?
in a fish bowl.
In a goldfish bowl.
Yeah, but you actually shouldn't put goldfish in a bowl because they can't blink, and so it feels like that, and their eyes are always seeing things and they can't blink. So
Oh, okay.
you shouldn't. But yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. I'm not sure if it's the same with frogs.
Yeah, well, so we're going to grow the tadpoles, and then we've got 3 ponds in the garden, haven't we?
Yeah, but I think we're
I
only
think we're
going
just
to
going to put them in
mine.
one main pond.
Yeah,
So that's quite exciting.
it is. Yeah, it's really
And
exciting.
are you keeping notes of how they're growing?
We are, yeah. So every day we're just drawing like a tiny bit more of them, and how they've developed. But it's really interesting because the house is warmer than outside. They're growing a lot faster.
Yeah.
And it feels like they're growing every second. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and we've got some sweet peas growing
Mustard.
and some mustard. We've got other little seeds. We need to think about our proper
Nigella.
seeds growing soon,
Oh
don't
yeah, we do. We need to
Like
start doing
pumpkins and things.
garden work again. Really.
We do need to start. Yeah, or maybe we do need to have a bit of a bonfire this afternoon. So maybe we could do that
Yeah.
and do a bit of weeding.
Yep.
Create some space. That would be good.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing we want to talk about. You went to a fascinating workshop. You and Mummy on Friday. What was that all about?
It was about the Houses of Parliament and the government and stuff.
Oh, right. And what kind of things were they talking about?
Like how, like the House of Commons and the House of Lords, and how a bill becomes a law, and like what is the difference between the government and the Parliament, and there was time for asking questions at the end, and
So there was a time for questions at the end.
yes, and I asked if you could. Well, me and Mummy asked if you could visit the Houses of Parliament, and obviously you can't right now. But actually, when it's like open again and COVID's over, they can, you can just go look around for free. And if there's a debate going on, you can ask if you can go and have a look, and they will say yes. So you might have to queue.
Oh, right.
And so basically, yeah.
And what was the most interesting thing you learned from that?
I would say like how the House of Lords, even though it's actually made up of baronesses and lords, is like about how like some people they've just got there because their like fathers or moms were there.
Hereditary peers.
Yeah. And then there's other people like charity workers and NHS workers and stuff.
Called
there too.
life peers, yeah, who've earned their place there.
Yeah, and there was an opportunity to say who would you put in there, like for a life peer. And I said J.K. Rowling, and someone else said Emma Watson.
Yeah, that's pretty Harry Pottery.
Yeah, and David Attenborough was another one.
Yeah. Oh, right. And what was the most unexpected thing that you learnt?
How the actual government is made up of the House of Lords and the House of Commons. It's like a little overlap in the middle.
Okay.
And how at the moment there's a minister for vaccines,
Yeah.
which I thought was quite interesting.
Speaking of which, I had my vaccine a couple of days ago, which is why I've had a cracking headache for a couple of days, and I've still got a bit of a sore arm. But otherwise,
The bit of blood still there.
yeah, that's right. Belle's come to join us for the last bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm very glad that I've been vaccinated. So,
Yeah, I hope I do never have to get the vaccine.
well, not until you're grown up, probably.
Even
Anyway.
when I'm a grown-up, I will probably hide from it.
On that happy note, thank you so much for listening.
Oh, Daddy.
Yeah?
Can we just say what my next clue for drama was?
What was your next clue for your drama?
That, we might need a map.
Yeah, so this is your drama workshop that you're part of has been
Yes.
teasing what your play's going to be.
Yeah.
What are the clues so far?
It begins with W.
Yeah.
We will learn stage combat, and we might need a map.
And you're going to get another clue at your next drama lesson tomorrow.
Yeah, and we are at the last drama before the Easter holidays, and then after the Easter holidays we can hopefully come back. Everyone's going to make their guess at what it is, and me and you think it's West Side Story.
We do think it's West Side Story. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Well,
But it might not be.
we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In fact, in a couple of weeks it's going to be Easter. So maybe we'll have a bit of an Easter-themed one, shall we?
Yeah.
That'll be good. Meanwhile, stay safe.
Have a lovely day.
Have a lovely few weeks, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Homemade Matters podcast. We love hearing from you, so email us to homemade@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Homemade Matters, and visit our website at www.homemadematters.co.uk. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us a review wherever you listen, like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher or Spotify. Thanks for joining us and enjoy your homemade journey this week.
They say absence makes the heart grow fond. Well, I've grown quite fond of you. Some people may think you're strange, but I think I'm strange too. It's raining outside, and it's raining inside too. I wanna go home, place where I'm known, and where I know you. Walk familiar streets.